Why do I always find the most disturbing videos at night? It's the strolling. I gotta stop this. I gotta stop. Yeah, I just watched the most disturbing video I have come across, I'll say this month. And I'll be quick because I have a lot to say. But it has to do with Sonia Massey case, which is so triggering. So, trigger warning, okay? I scrolled and I seen a video that said, oh, a retired cop speaks on the case, and he happens to be a retired black officer. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, I love to hear that perspective, especially from someone in our community. Great. So I'm listening, I'm taking tips down. He had really, really good tips in the beginning. Like, if officers come to the house, you can say, I don't want you to enter my home. Just kind of giving that kind of spill on what your rights are. Then, towards the end of the video, he basically perpetuates so many stereotypes about black women. And they were hurtful. And I think the reason why, it's like, oh, you're triggered. Yes, I am triggered. And the reason why I'm so triggered, because when I see Sonia, like many of these cases, I see women in my family. I see people in my family, right? So I'm thinking, imagine watching that video and that was your auntie, that was your mother, that was your grandmother. And I'm like, imagine the family coming across that video. So he says, first point, she's single. If we only had a man in the house, things like this wouldn't happen. Didn't Breonna Taylor have her man in the house? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure our sister Breonna Taylor had a man in the house. As well as so many other cases I see coming down my YouTube feed about cases of women being unalived, and also the other man was present. So in that case, the officer would have felt less threatened. He already has this basis of having this implicit bias. And then he's going to somehow feel more comfortable with a male in the house with already the bias, and she's already holding the alleged hot water that was used as threatening. Okay, that would have made things better. Okay, no, they both would have been unalive, sir. Second point he makes, and if you're triggered like me, take a nice deep breath. Let's breathe with it. Breathe in nice and slow. Pause, and then breathe out. He goes on to say, if only black women was more feminine, they would have more protection, which is rhetoric that we have been hearing repeatedly, right? But then he says, oh, our lives have been taken for centuries. So which is it? Were we ever not feminine, or is it just now? He goes on to say, because of the internet and the things that we're doing on the internet and the cussing. Sir, I don't care how feminine presenting we are, how docile, how meek. When someone has implicit bias and they see you as an animal, you can step closer, you can move side to side, you can flick your hair. Oh, what's that? You're going to be seen as a threat. I love analogies, so I'll just say this analogy or symbolism, however you want to define it. If you are afraid of spiders, it doesn't matter how slow the spider's moving, how tiny the spider might be, if the spider is alone, or does the spider have a male spider with them. It does not matter. You're going to see the spider and you're going to flinch up because that is your bias against them, right? It's a fear. It's rooted in fear. Why do I even have to say these things? But The reason why I'm making this video, because it's all with a purpose, and it's not just a rant about this man I do not care for, and I hope to never come across a gentleman like that in person. I'm making this video for women. If you come across rhetoric like that, breathe with it, but just know that that's their own projections on how they feel society would be better. And to me, it's wrapped up in this delusion. It's not even a safe patriarch, because that patriarch they're presenting is based on conditions. If you act a certain way, dress a certain way, then we'll protect you. And this video is already 5 minutes long, so I'm gonna make this a part 1 because actually I need to get some cold water to just center myself. Okay, part 1.